Well, what's going on, guys? Good evening. Just got off work, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to target this spillway. This is one of the spots that I fish when I really don't have a lot of time, during the week or whatever. Sometimes I'll hit it on the weekends, maybe in the evening or early in the morning, whichever. But sometimes, certain times of the year, it will be slap loaded with crappie. So that's what we're going to try to do today. We might be a little bit too early. You don't know until you try. But what we're going to be using, the Wally Marshall speed shooter, okay? Spool with 4-pound Crappie Max high vis line and a Fluker President reel. There's the size of it compared to my palm, real tiny. And we're going to start off by using just a tiny little micro worm, okay? This jig head is a what is it? I believe it's a 1/64 ounce jig head made by Fish Stalker. And this plastic here, I can't remember the name of it, but the company that makes it is called Panfish Plastics. So if y'all have never heard of them, check them out. Real good plastics. And what I'm going to be targeting is, if you can see here, we got a lot of water coming in to this little pool right here from the dam that the lake is above where we are, and just a bunch of runoff. We're going to be targeting these spots of where the water is coming in to this pool. That's where I think these crappie are going to be. And enough of me talking. Let's get to the fish. All right, guys, we got our first fish. There we go. Nice crappie. It took me a minute to kind of figure out where they are. Well, he was fighting a lot bigger than what he actually is. Caught that one off a beetle spin, and it's in the area. If I can get this hook out, he ain't hooked that deep. What the world's going on here? I need to start bringing pliers with me, folks. There we go. Good fish to start. I caught that fish right here where this eddy's wanting to start. Y'all can see where that water is moving real good out there. I caught him in this slack water, so there's probably some more there. So there's crappie number one, okay? And he's going back. Now, something I will say about when you're crappie fishing like this, you really want to keep in mind that, sooner or later, you're going to have to change your presentation. Whether it be size, color, you name it. The speed of the retrieve, the depth of the retrieve, it's all going to play a factor in how you catch these fish. There's a lot of rock here. There's hardly any timber up this way. There's some timber downstream, but right up through here is just all rock. So really what you want to target on is, there's a bunch of rock over there. You kind of want to skip that lure in there. Don't let it go too far down. There was a thump there. And just kind of glide it across like so, okay? Now, when I'm fishing in these type of conditions with the rock and everything, I'm not going to fish with nothing over 1/16 of an ounce. You're just going to get snagged up all the time. You're going to get irritated. So 1/16 is where I'm going to stay. This beetle spin here, I believe, is a 1/32. So that's what you want to do. You don't want to get nothing too heavy because you just go stay. I mean, there's just no way around it. Unless you're fishing with a float, which, you know, in my opinion, I really wouldn't want to be fishing with a float with something more than 1/16. But that's just my personal preference. But just keep that in mind. And in this cold water, you can really get away with having the same lure on for a little while. And sometimes those crappie will just they'll kind of be stupid. Look right there, folks. I was about to turn the camera off. Look right there. Same thing. Same thing. Right up against them rocks. Okay? Right up against them rocks. All I'm doing is I want this bait to hit the top of those rocks. Okay? This is a small fish. It's about the same size as the other one. Hopefully we can get on some bigger ones. But same rule applies. Just letting it skim across the top of those rocks. Give that bait some action. And sometimes you'll get a reaction strike out of these fish, okay? Ain't no different in bass fishing. You know, a lot of tournament and pro anglers will talk to you about, you know, if you're fishing grass, if you're fishing rocks, if you're fishing stumps, whatever, you know, let that lure hit that structure. It ain't no different. Certain times of the year when the temperatures start to drop and when the temperatures start to rise, those are the times to where you can really get away with a lot of different things that you necessarily wouldn't get away with any other time of the year. So that's just some tips to keep in mind. Also, while I got the camera running, if y'all haven't seen the new flopping crappie video, go check it out. He's got some good techniques on some swim baits that he was using to help y'all catch some of these cold water crappie. So I know I get to talking a lot, so enough of me talking. Let's get back to the fish. Got us another one, guys. Got us another one. This is on a different bait. All these crappie are about the same size, but that's okay. We're just out here to fish today. We ain't trying to keep none. This is a 1/16 ounce jig head with a sickle hook, and this lure is made by Euro Tackle. It's called the Fat Assassin, and it picked up this little dink right here. I think we came just a little bit too early to get on the slabs, but anyways, it's got a lot of action to it. It's it tapers in the middle, and it gets fatter towards like 3/4 of the way through it, and it's just got a tiny little stinger tail on it, and you just can't keep it still. How I was doing it, we'll just toss this a little pitch out here. I was letting it fall some, and while I'm reeling it, y'all might be able to see that lure in the water. The water's so clear. I'm just kind of barely bouncing it a little bit just to give that lure some action. So here is bait number 2 that we're using, and hopefully this will help y'all out. Well, guys, I think it's gonna wrap it up. It's starting to get dark. I only had about 30, maybe 40 minutes to throw a plan together on how we were gonna catch these fish. We caught a couple dinks, but hey, that's okay. That's fishing. If you like what you see, think about subscribing to the channel, like the video. That'll help me out. And if you need some tackle, okay, if you need some tackle, please go hit up Cam at Cam's Crappie Hole. He'll be more than happy to help you out. Another guy that you need to go check out is Ed Duke from Southern Crappie Rods. They're both really nice guys. Both really get you hooked up on what you want. So hopefully we'll be able to get out this weekend on the boat, do some spider rigging and stuff like that. But until the next one, y'all be good and God bless.